Hi guys, Alex Machine Richardson here, and I've been given the opportunity to hang out with the world's best Counter-Strike team ahead of the Berlin Major to talk about, Counter-Strike probably, I guess, maybe STEWIE's best. Maybe that's a conversation later down the line as well, I don't know. Either way, we've got a lot to talk about, and I think we'll start just by choosing one victim from, of course, one side of the sofa to the other. We have Naf, Elige, Twistzz, Nitro, STEWIE, ADREN, the coach as well. First things first, Eric, on the end there, how's preparation been going for you coming into the Major? You've had loads of time. No, I was going to say no responsibility. I assume a lot of responsibility. What have you been up to?
I mean, since we just came off the break, we've been just coming back and just getting to the swing of things. I didn't want to come into the boot camp and start adding all these new stuff. So I think it's more about us just getting into the groove and just working on what we already have. And then maybe at the end of the boot camp we add in and sprinkle in some new strats. But right now I think it's just go over everything that we already have and just make sure we're doing that well.
You guys, ever since, of course, ADREN and Jake joined, you guys have kind of accelerated from this second place curse. I guess as a veteran, I'll turn to you then, John.
I think that the team environment got really good. Obviously, we went into our first tournament at iBuyPower and we won it, so that obviously helps a lot winning a tournament going into it. And I think that Jake has helped a lot, going into all the rounds where he just helps mid rounds and takes a lot of the lead where we didn't have it too much before. Just one extra guy bringing that type of stuff in has really helped us.
Yeah, you can see it in everyone, of course. Suddenly Nitro's the world's best AWPer. Can we talk about this, Nick? You've been grinding for the game. What's going on, man? I've seen you on Overpass, I've seen you on Long.
You're going Overpass, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Overpass is best AWPer. You take that title?
I'll take that title.
Yeah. But you've always played around with the AWP. It's become a much bigger part of your game recently. Can you talk a little bit as to what you've done in order to achieve this goal?
I didn't really watch too many demos, I just kind of focus on myself and I know what works for me and stuff. Yeah. Here it goes. More deathmatch with and stuff, just to get my individual skill up, and I don't know, nothing special.
Nothing special. The thing that's what's so interesting is that these are all kind of community questions that people, they desperately want the answer, and the answer is always really unglamorous, we worked really hard, we came second for a year straight, that's...
Not in depth, right?
You must be some hit under the surface, even perhaps subconscious developments that are going on, especially for you two. Your story is quite spectacular.
Yeah, with these guys, it's a lot more fun to play with. I feel like we always got each other's back inside the game, and we play well off each other, and we know each other's strengths. So if let's say he's better than me at something, then I know that he's better than me at it, so he's gonna go and do it, and I'll fill in what needs to be done. And I think everyone on the team can do that.
If you had to put a percentage on it now, in terms of how much you think just chemistry and understanding each other's plays, the unspoken Counter-Strike that happens between you, how much of it do you think it is that is leading to your successes as a team?
I think a lot of it actually is.
Yeah.
I know we're in any 2vx situation, I know that we can literally win.
Yeah.
Even with minimal calls, we know each other really well, so yeah.
I guess I can chime in too. I think that CS is a lot about building on what you already have. And last year we obviously had really good runs. We never ended up winning them, but after all that, we talked about all the situations that happen. In this situation, when this is happening, what are our options? And we've talked about that, and we make sure that we go over those really frequently.
Yeah, and confidence. Actually, I think I spoke to both of you because with confidence, you kept saying the word confidence in the interviews, both Russell and John. And I was at the after party in Cologne. I was just shouting at you over the music, what do you mean by confidence? Where's this confidence come from? But I think it might just be a bit of swagger. For sure, this guy's been hitting the gym and been, buying hair gel and dining with Ray. But there's confidence on this side as well. I've seen your interviews. You're talking smack now. This is an upgrade from the Elige who just quietly sets up and drops 30. You're feeling the confidence now. You're feeling it in your veins.
I don't want to talk too much smack.
I'm not asking for smack. I'm just saying that's confidence in your team that's giving you the confidence to frag.
When people ask questions after we've won 2 or 3, 4 tournaments in a row, and they're do you think that you're still the #1 team in the world? And then you see comments on Twitter and stuff, and they're well, they haven't won on winter nights. And man, come on. We're just being ridiculous at this point.
It's understandable where that confidence comes from. Something that I am very interested in is to understand the change. You guys have made it clear that the change for you, a lot of you, was just kind of psychological, as in just believing you could win, having the right ingredients for STEWIE and ADREN. But you said, I'm looking at you again, ADREN, because you arrived and the results went from second, third, fourth, second, first, second, third, to I think it was 6 firsts and 2 seconds. It was a stomp. Coaching Team Liquid, what I know you've had this question before, but I'm forcing you. But this is long form. You actually have no excuse now. What are you doing for Team Liquid? Help us understand. We know what Danny's doing for Astralis. He's very upfront about his role, and we can give him the credit he deserves. But for you, for Nitro as well as an in-game leader, it's rather under the hood. We never really get to talk about it.
I mean, these guys make it super easy for me, honestly. The team works really well together. So I think in terms of mentality, I don't have to do too much. The team itself has a great culture I already came into. So I think the culture of the team was already kind of set before I came in. So in terms of that, the guys have matured a lot, and the team environment is really good. So in terms of that, I don't really have to worry too much. We have our sports psychologist that's coming here to the boot camp, so he's gonna even keep the environment good. You can't just say, hey guys, we're gonna have a great environment, and it's just gonna happen, right? That's something that you need to keep working on every single time. So, but it's more about me just making sure the guys are focused on what they're doing. It doesn't really matter what this team does in terms of strats, because we're so fucking talented. So as long as the team just knows what each other are doing, and that's the most important thing I think for me. It's just hey guys, if we run this strat, everyone's got to know what they're doing in it, and I just make sure and try to reinforce we're knowing what we're doing.
But has he had any of those clutch timeout plays, 30 seconds, and Dren's boys go B? Happening, Nick? Is that happening?
Yeah, there's. We haven't been taking too many timeouts recently.
I keep forgetting how dominant you're doing.
But I think it's more about the timing. If we have an insane clutch situation, we want to he wants to calm us down. That's the moment to do it. We haven't been struggling too much strategically, so he hasn't been taking too many strategy pauses. But it's more just the timing of when to calm down and stuff.
And you've struck gold for me there, because I'm asking a follow up, which is, are you ready to feel that stress again? I mean, you turn up in Berlin and suddenly everything feels super hard. You've got weights on your feet. Do you think you guys are capable of, after so much success so quickly? Do you think you're prepared both mentally and mechanically to handle improved opponents, tough opponents?
Yeah, honestly, I feel it'll be the same personally. Even come back from the break, we're all still firing on all cylinders and stuff. So I'm expecting the same mentality and game from us.
What about you, Jake, with a big smile on your face? You got a similar expectation of kind of the same level of resistance you've had prior to the break?
Well, I always believe too much of something's not too good. Even when we were winning on the road, time was flying by pretty fast, and we were having a good time, but a lot of stress builds up too, and frustration. So as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to continue being on the road and playing these much tournaments. So having this break was pretty good for us. So everyone got to relax, they let their frustrations out, all the stress free, and they're coming back and they're ready to take on that stress and that frustration and do what we did.
But from one side of the coin to the other, we're talking about Berlin now. I'm interested. Can I have everyone's team to watch? The team that they're most interested to go up against in the server? I'm sure there'll be a lot of similarities. Naf, I'm looking at you first, bro. Is there a team on there, the tip of your tongue? Do you want to see what Vitality are up to again? You want to see what some of those loose cannons in fours or some crazy loose cannon from the challenger stage? Who's on your list?
No, I just want to. Mainly, I think I'm just curious about how Astralis will come back. Yeah, that's the only thing we're looking out for. But of course, we're gonna look out for every team. But if there's one team specific, I just think Astralis.
Okay, I have a horrible feeling I'm about to hear the same name 5 times.
Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as you said that, I thought of Astralis too.
Okay.
They're a team where last year, you don't just win how they did and just fall off a cliff. That is just not gonna happen. And I think they're a team that is actually gonna be pretty similar to us, where they all have really good players, and they're just gonna have to make sure that their team environment and they don't get overworked or whatever, and make sure that people keep innovating and stuff like that. And I think that's gonna be the same type of stuff for us.
Was it Astralis at the tip of your tongue?
No, actually, I'm curious about Vitality.
You are?
Yeah, I feel like they were the person that was the biggest threat to us, the biggest team. And I mean, our finals versus them were pretty one-sided still, but I think they're better than they were before the break.
I mean, a lot of the analysis of that series was that Vitality perhaps had the meat, had the mechanics to go one-on-one with you, especially when Zai was doing things like Zai was. But the map pool and the actual preparation, they just weren't on par. Nick, are you on Vitality, Astralis?
Astralis is the #1 for me, and then I actually want to see Navi with Boombla, or Boomlich or whatever. And then Vitality, because I knew that they were saying that they were kind of burnt out from all the travel and stuff, so I'm excited for them too.
I think Vitality and Astralis are on the list as well. I think Vitality, they're a good team. I think they're the hardest team to play against for us because of their aggressiveness, and sometimes it can get pretty rough and chaotic. But I'm not too worried about Astralis. I feel like they're just a little in their own heads, and they let the community, what they say, get in their heads, so they feel like they actually have to meet their expectations since they haven't been attending too many tournaments. So I think eventually they'll find the groove and come back and be the same team they were. And I'm actually pretty excited to see how Mousesports will play, just because I feel like they got a young squad too, and they got a lot of talent, and they also have the skill where they could be one of the better teams in the world as well. And I just feel like they got to find their footing there and see what works for them, and then once they bring it to the major, I think they'll be a good team.
I'm a bit of a Mousesports fanboy, man. Like seeing that 16-year-old Frozen just frank out. What about you?
I mean, probably just Astralis again. I mean, I think like John said, like a team that was winning that long, I mean, they have the same players, the same staff, management, whatnot. So, I mean, they know how to win, and people were kind of writing them off for no reason, just because they really haven't been attending events. So I think that would be the team to watch out for.
It is such a rivalry, man. Like the Liquid Astralis, you guys almost want to see them succeed so you can have a good final against them. I mean, I'm just raising my hands here, but I'm pretty sure you guys have got a somewhat of a desire to have that final, have it be close, and take that victory after so many going the other way, Nick.
And then maybe we'll be the best team in the world.
Maybe, yeah, if you work really hard, man. Yeah, undeniable if that trophy's in your hands, for sure. It's already pretty much undeniable. The mental side of Counter-Strike, how much do you guys believe it does play into it? I'm looking at you because I know that I've just seen what happens when the mental side, when that tick box is ticked. How much does it play in?
I think that is probably one of the most important things. Like in any sport, I think that if you believe that you're going to be able to do it, I think that you have a better chance than the guy that doesn't. Yeah. And I'd actually really like to give some credit to Zeus as well. Like Zeus was like a really big help on like the mental side of us for like the last year, or for the last 2 years. But like especially like last year when we were getting like second on that, like he's managing like how we are as people and doing all that stuff. It's like really easy for ADREN and STEWIE to come into the team and just like build off of that. And obviously the work that we do with our sports psychologists really helped as well.
I do believe that out of all teams, we have superior sports psychologists, because there is such thing as, bad sports psychologists.
I've seen all the esports consultants on LinkedIn, man. I know. I know, don't worry, I'm aware.
So yeah, it's super, super useful. Had multiple one-on-ones with him.
Yeah.
Just to vent my thoughts and talk to him.
So it does seem like, a healthy mind, body and soul in order to succeed in Counter-Strike. It's not just about 900 headshots in deathmatch every day. Stu, is that what jumped you from being kind of a widely regarded kind of pushes through smoke naughty boy into the hero of the team, not going to go positive but will save the day? You've transitioned into the team player, and I want to transition into role discussion.
Yeah, just talk about mentality. I think it's probably the most key thing in Counter-Strike as well. It's mental and how you show up to your game and make sure you're playing your game. I think mentality is the biggest thing because it can flow through your team as well, and that affects the entire game. And it could go through rounds and make you just lose rounds that are pointless and you felt like you couldn't have done anything just because mentality is low. So I think mentality is the biggest thing, and I think keeping it up on this team, like bringing fire with this team, that's the one thing I thought they were always missing from last year. They needed that to push themselves to being the best team in the world, and it might seem so simple, but it's actually a pretty hard task. And fire is like the main thing, and keeping your mentality straight, knowing that you can win every round, even with a Glock.
Yeah,
I mean, it happens too.
You can win a round with anything, especially in Counter-Strike nowadays. Bit of a side topic, but it just sprung to mind. I'd love to know, have you guys ever gone on record with what you think of the new CS changes? Every round is now like pretty much winnable. I mean, I know that was Valve's goal. I feel like they might have achieved it now. What do you reckon?
I mean, with the new economy, it's like obviously different. It's kind of nice to have a different shift in like a meta, I guess.
It definitely has.
So it's kind of nice to have a change, but I kind of just prefer the old economy, but just instead of the initial like 1400, just make it 1900.
Okay, so yeah, you're the top of the Reddit comment on that discussion. I've seen that one before. Interesting. Is that the same kind of consensus across the board? Do you like the meta shift?
I like what Keith said as well. I made a comment about that as well in the past. Like if they just did 1900 and then it just goes back to normal, like you can still get the same type of result as before. I don't think that'd be too much different from how it is now though, because after they removed like the loss counter cap, or when they cap like the loss counter, I think that actually fixed the problem. Like there's only ever going to be like one eco and then it's going to go right into it, but it does like help teams that are losing like a lot of rounds in a row. It helps them like make the scoreline a lot closer. So I don't like that aspect of it.
I mean, I realised I just asked a team that's been winning games 16-2, losing both pistol rounds, what they think of the changes that help losers. So I realised it's not the best team to be asking about it. I assume that a shared opinion across the board is that you wouldn't mind it going back.
Actually, I don't mind how it is right now. I think it just gives more action for the viewers, but also for the players. I mean, we're playing a gun round pretty much every round, and I don't mind that. and obviously it doesn't affect us if we're still only 16 teams.
Certainly not. Swagger still no, it's no short supply of swagger in this sofa. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a little sit down with Team Liquid coming into the Berlin Major as the #1 team in the world. Maybe, we don't know. I mean, it's all about the major. They've got to lock it in. Will they beat Astralis? Anyway, news aside, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I'm doing my live sign off because I don't normally do video content.